He just slipped getting into the bucket.
Membrane at the bottom is really we should probably have a broom out there, right? But this has got to swing around to the other side to hook on.
We have our suction equipment now, so we can pick up the flagstone pieces and put them into place, which we're going to need it because those mega flag are really big pieces. Some of them are over 10 feet wide, so you have to have the suction or else we just end up breaking them and chipping them and scratching them, trying to install it with the skid steers and things like that.
Okay, so while it's down, that's when it'll attach. Okay, so you turn on the on button, switch it on. You got to make certain that it goes to green. Once it's in green, it should be good to go. And then you'll see that the seal is compressed. Yeah. Right, so you know that it's safe. Yeah. Okay. Don't get your toes underneath it. Okay. Just grab an edge and just guide it with your hand on top. Okay. Because if it drops, don't try to catch it. Okay. Just let it go. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Right now we got Dave and the mason crew in the yard making the layout for the patio stones. So they're taking the big mega flag pieces off the pallets with suction on the big excavator and then laying them out and then cutting them all to size and fitting them together. And then we numbered them and now we're gonna bring them over and start laying them. We got our HPB going down on top of our 3/4 clear base for our big mega flag pieces that are going in. We've got some of the masons and our operator over in the yard cutting everything and making a rough layout. So first we're starting off with this 16 by 24 foot section along the old wall and the new wall. And we're leaving an inch gap so we can put brick veneer up so it'll look very nice, along with the outdoor kitchen that we're going to be putting in this section.
That's going to be your top of gravel there, guys.
That's it right there.
That's the top of this gravel. Yeah. And then we'll just put about 1.5 inches of HPB in. We'll put a lot less HPB. Yep. More of this. Yeah.
So we got to get the gravel almost perfect.
Yeah, I'll get this whole gravel perfect at this height to start, and then while they're prepping stone, and then we'll start in here.
Okay.
With the mega flag too, we'd probably go over it with a roller compactor too, or no?
You know what, I would say yes, but because it's a 2-inch stone and not like a 4-inch stone, natural stones, because you don't know if it's got a little crack running through it.
Yeah.
It's tough to roller those, man.
Yeah, it's different
like
with like pavers.
And if you wanted to, like, say a corner kept popping high,
then you would probably.
Then you could, but I'd stay away from packing them on top, man.
As much as we can.
Yeah. One of those things, like, for brick all day, yeah.
Yeah.
But those,
kind of, I thought I'd ask anyway to get your opinion.
It's not like out of the realm of possibility. I try to get the grade perfect. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Kyle. I'm here at Private Paradise. And yeah, I'm a crew lead on a hardscaping crew. And I love it here, man. It's great. Everybody's got the energy, you know, it's infectious. Everybody's got a high skill level. Teams, we're putting together a good team. And it's going really well. I love every minute of it, you know.
We've got our carpenters working on our office build over here, which is going smoothly. You got the concrete poured on the top of the walls now, so it's all ready to put the framing up. We have some trees going in behind me over there along our flagstone pathway. And then just a little bit more planting going on in the backyard there. And then we have our masons over in the field prepping our big mega flag for our patio. Today went really well. We got quite a bit done, mainly working on the office build and our big mega flag patio. So we had the masons in our yard area stacking all the mega flag out, laying out kind of the shape of the patio and then cutting the stones to the right size. And then me, Kyle, and Dimitri were bringing them over to where the base was set after we finished that in the morning. And in the afternoon, we started placing some of our bigger stones in, and definitely happy with how the flagstone went with today. And the carpenters made good headway on the office, so it was definitely a very productive day.
How's it going?
Good, how about you?
Good. Quite a bit going on today. We got a big patio. We got a bunch of our stones in yesterday. We got the big tree down behind the office barn area, so they got the room to put up your framing now. Yeah.
Way off.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
I think this one might work, but it's a little ugly on that left side, but I think it'll be there's a nicer one over there. It's a little bigger than this one. The bigger square is what I'm calling it.
Will it fit? Because that one's pretty ugly.
This is to 1 inch. Like it fits. It's 41. This is 40. It's like it is pretty ugly. If we could swap it out with another one.
If you can swap it out, I would. That one's pretty.
It's got 2 cracks in it.
Yeah.
This one does?
Yeah.
Oh,
This one here?
Oh yeah.
There's another one here.
Yeah, you got a different one.
No, so there's another one over there, another square. Just a little bigger than this, I think it'll work.
That's alright, even if you have to cut it a bit, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get started with this excavation. So we've got it all laid out. The big waterfall is gonna be right here. So there's a double line painted out here. Yeah. This section here, we're gonna just excavate down 2 feet because this is gonna be a big ledge so that we get a layered waterfall effect. So back here, we're gonna dig this section out as well and take all the organics and saw it out as we go. Okay. Then this top shelf, we're gonna come down 2 feet, and then all the way around the rest of the line, we're gonna go all the way down 4 feet. Okay. And we're just gonna put a shelf on the outside of that line so that when we pour our concrete, it comes up, and we've got a shelf to layer all the stone in.
How deep's the shelf?
That shelf, we're gonna get that shelf to be about 18 inches below grade, but we'll probably vary it in a couple places just to kind of create a little more natural. And then back there where just behind the laser level, we're gonna add another extra little shelf, kind of like this one. Okay. So we can put a small waterfall over there just next to the patio. Okay. I think it'll be nice if there's a couple of features, a big one back here,
more ambient,
and then a small one.
The patio too.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be much better. Yeah. So I'll jump on the excavator and start cutting it. If you want to keep coming in and grabbing the fill, right. We'll salvage all the topsoil for rescreening. Yeah. And then we're probably going to get down into some clay. I think there's about 1.5 feet of topsoil in here. Okay. But we are inside of the old barn foundation, so I think there's going to be lots of rocks. Yeah. We'll just have to play it by ear, but let's try to rescreen the topsoil and then separate the fill. Okay. I think we're going to need the extra fill on the backside when we start to do the pool. Yeah. So I was thinking when we get to the fill pile, yeah, let's actually put a stockpile down below here, okay, off to the left, just of good clay, because when we put the pool in, I think we're going to need extra clay to backfill. I think we felt like we needed about 120 cubic yards, which we'll easily get a good chunk of that out of here.
Okay, so the dirt, the topsoil is going to be in a separate pile than the more clay stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, topsoil you can put on your topsoil over there, just so where we're going to do the screening.
Okay. All right, I'll go get the machine then.
Perfect. We cut down the tree now. One of the limbs did end up falling down on one of the forms, but luckily it didn't damage the concrete wall, so we're lucky with that. But other than that, it went really smoothly. Yeah, we're just getting the mulch mate all loaded up for the very first time. It just showed up here last week. So we just finished up an operator training with the team just to understand how to operate the equipment safely. And right now Jake's just loading it up with mulch, and then we're gonna actually just do a little bit of a dry run before taking it out to a job site to start using it for the first time.
Why does it steam like that? What causes that?
That's just the heat on the mulch from...
The mulch is hot?
Mulch is hotter than the air right now, yeah.
Oh, from the sun baking on it?
Yeah, exactly. It collects the heat because it's dark. And keep in mind, it's composting. So this is composted pine bark mulch. So it's actually in the process of composting, which causes heat. So it's right now we're seeing probably a bit of both. The sun actually increases the composting process as it heats up, and then when you take it off the pile, it's just like this. Basically, when you push number one, the conveyor, this roller cycles and it pulls the mulch back, but it's on a 2-second delay. So just watch now on number 1. You'll see this thing cycles a bit. If we just wanted to run the conveyor on its own, because we've already got lots of material here, let's say, or too much, then we just hit number 2, and then we're not cycling the tarp. And the tarp is what's pulling the material back, right?
Yeah, we decided to buy the Mulchmate trailer because it's gonna save us a lot of time and be a lot easier on the employees while working. Yeah, today we're using wheelbarrows for our job access, but we are investing in some tracked carriers and also the mowers that have the hydraulic dump attachments on the front of them, so it'll be super easy to get into tight spots and dump the mulch wherever we need it. All right, now it's time to get to work.
Yeah, so that line there should be, close, so you could obviously
rough edge.
figure it out.
Potato. Scrape off topsoil first, and then any of the fill will pull out the perfect.
Yeah, it's we'll take everything down to that height. Once we're down to that height, then we'll mark out the inside height again, because we're going to go down to about 4 feet in the middle. So
What's it at now, though?
we're roughly 2 feet. We're at a pretty rough cut right now, but once we get down to this height, we'll flatten this all up, set a laser in. Then once we've got a really flat level, we'll just mark out our inner depth where we're going to go down to 4 feet. And then we're going to put a couple shelves in. The big waterfall is going to be back there, so we got to also shelf that out, put a concrete base in there. And then we're going to put a small waterfall over here, so we'll put a little shelf in back there as well.
All right.
Yeah, so we're super happy with this new M-Quip suction that we picked up. It's made a huge difference. We started using suction about 25 years ago when there wasn't much suction around. In fact, we had to actually bring our suction in from a company in Europe that we had to find online. But this is a local company. They operate just here in Toronto, so it was really easy to get our hands on the suction. A good friend of mine that runs Muskoka Landscapers actually recommended these products. They do a ton of this type of large flagstone as well, and they just do beautiful work. So he's got a whole lineup of M-Quip, and we ended up going with this brand. We've been super happy. It's made a really big impact on the productivity this week. And the stone that the guys are installing is much bigger than what we were putting in last week on the pathway. So it's had a huge impact on the safety and the quality, and of course the efficiency, and that's what we aim to work toward. So the way that we normally work is we set the piece down, mark out all the lines, make sure that everything's nice and tight. Then we pull the stone out, make all the cuts, and then use the suction to set it back into position. And we just kind of keep working one stone at a time.
We had a good start to the day, so definitely happy with what we've got done so far.
Yeah, today we got quite a bit going on. We have all the excavation going on for our new pond going in. We have all 3 crews separated up doing their own thing right now. So we have Ruslan leading the carpenters. They're working back on our office build. And then laying the flagstone pathway, we have Kyle. Mason's taking care of cutting the stone for the patio, and the base prep for the patio is Dave. And they also built the concrete block wall over there.
Yeah, I'm just over here today to carry on excavating out the pond. We have lots of excavation left to do. Hoping to wrap that up today so that early next week we can start forming and putting in all of the rebar reinforcement, under drainage, plumbing, so that the following week we can go ahead and shoot all of the gunite and get started on rocking it all in. Yeah, so the carpenters are just finishing up some of the rough framing in here. All of this framing is going to support the outer walls, but really the structure here is going to be completely new and sit inside of this because these are very old concrete walls, and as you can see over here, there's lots of really old barn foundation still remaining, and we really want to keep this foundation in place and stay within the old foundation. But we're putting in a new structure that's going to be actually 12-inch by 12-inch Douglas fir posts and beams, and then the roof structure is also timber frame with 8 by 12 beams on the top. So a whole new structure kind of sits inside of this. So what you're seeing here is really these walls are going to be more or less like facade. They're resting on the old foundation, but we're really not counting on those for any structures. So we had this huge tree in the way. It was really taking up an enormous amount of space, and this tree was really overhanging the shop and causing lots of problems back here in the barn. So we cut the tree down, and this opening here is going to be an 8-foot set of bifold doors, and that's going to walk out onto a big beautiful deck back here that will also have a concrete swimming pool. And down below, eventually we'd like to put in another pond. Phase 2, probably something that happens next year. But the idea being clients can come in, take a look at their drawings. There's going to be an interactive board on the wall where the drawings can be brought up and all the notes can be put in during the design meetings with the clients. There's going to be lots of samples and whatnot here. We want them to be able to walk around the nursery and really experience and choose their plants and see the stone and really understand what they're looking at when they're looking at their drawings a little bit better. So really trying to create an interactive experience so that customers really understand what we do, what makes us different, really truly understand the quality and the materials that we're putting into the drawings so that they truly understand the budgets that we're proposing, why they're as high as they are, and how we build, and just how much effort we put into the quality of the work. I loved it down there. I was there all the time.
Yeah, this week was really good, super productive. We got a lot done. We got the pond all excavated and ready for concrete. We have our office, whole area is all cleared out now. We took down all the trees in behind, so it's fully ready to finish all the carpentry work and all the brick veneer that needs to go on it. And then also we've made really good headway on our patio. So really productive week for sure. Definitely looking forward to seeing how it all comes together.
Just walk this way.
All right, now it's time to get to work.
I know it's
Early in the morning.
It's just it's like no, it's just like, all right, now it's time to get to work.
Yeah, I'm not animated on camera like that.
You'll get there. It's just like
Can't do that. My body doesn't let me. All right, now it's time to get. Okay.